Hello and welcome to Digital Farm TV Rural News. I'm Andy Walker. A meeting of more than 200 farmers this week demanded a Senate inquiry into the growing market power of red meat processors. The meeting, run by the Victorian Farmers Federation and New South Wales farmers, was called in response to an influential meat processor's recent boycott of the Barnawatha sale yards. VFF Livestock President Ian Feltman said farmers felt they needed to draw a line in the sand and stop processors from dragging the last cent of profit out of producers' pockets. The meeting passed 3 resolutions: call for a Senate inquiry into the growing power and market consolidation of the red meat processing sector, reject post-sale weighing at sale yards, and petition the Federal Treasurer to hold off on approving the sale of Primo to Brazilian multinational JBS. The gross value of farm production is forecast to increase by 5.3% to around $54.4 billion next financial year. ABARES Executive Director Karen Schneider told this week's Outlook conference in Canberra that the values of both livestock and crop production were forecast to rise. The gross value of livestock production was forecast to increase by around 5.6% to $25.9 billion in 2015-16, following a forecast increase of 5.9% in 2014-15. The forecast increase in livestock production value mainly reflected the effect of higher sale yard and farm gate prices, which more than offset expected lower slaughter as a result of herd and flock rebuilding. Increasingly nervous in the lead-up to the New South Wales election, the Abbott government has used the former Labor government's water trigger to pause the Shenhua Watermark coal project on New South Wales' Liverpool Plains. Opposition Agriculture spokesman Joel Fitzgibbon said this week this was to be just long enough to protect the Baird government from pre-election public outcry on this contentious project. Labor's water trigger allowed the Commonwealth Minister to stop the clock on a project under the Environment Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act 1999 if there was a threat to the water supply. The Shenhua mine proposal raised legitimate concerns about the natural water resources which supply some of the richest and most productive farming land in the country. Ozveg has welcomed the federal government's Food and Grocery Code of Conduct that it hopes will establish a more equitable relationship between retailers and Australian vegetable and potato growers. Spokesperson Stefan Obermann said the peak industry body welcomed the creation of the code as a positive step forward in providing growers and their families with certainty and stability. Ozveg was hopeful that the code would prevent future instances such as when Woolworths last year required growers to contribute money to a fund marketing campaign featuring celebrity chef Jamie Oliver. The National Farmers Federation cautiously welcomed the Food and Grocery Code of Conduct. In 2014, there was a flurry of inbound investment activity by mostly Chinese dairy companies in the Australian and New Zealand dairy sectors. Rabobank warns this week, however, that ongoing growth in import requirements by Chinese and wider Asian dairy companies shouldn't be taken for granted. In a recent report, the bank said a specific focus for overseas investors in Australian dairy had been on securing access to liquid milk and infant formula. Report co-author Rabobank's Michael Harvey said the quest to secure access to a high-quality, safe milk pool was driving international investment in dairy down under. For the New Zealand and Australian dairy sectors, preferential market access and geographical proximity were magnetic forces supporting the investment flows into this region, and they will continue to be so. You're better off on beef is the new message behind Meat and Livestock Australia's latest marketing campaign that aims to reinforce beef's health credentials.
You are watching a man that they'll be talking about centuries from now. Touch! Pause! Engage!
Please, technicalities.
He turns him around, stepping, he gets away!
The technique is remarkable.
They're holding their stagger early. Somebody stop him!
to have a bit of a breather, I reckon. The pain is temporary, but glory lasts forever.
He's loving this. He's loving the contest.
Will it be a fairy tale?
He's going to smash it. He's going to smash it. Unbelievable. We have lifted leaders. That was magnificent.
Something to savour, something to remember for the rest of your life.
The best team of the modern era. What a legend. What a champion.
MLA said busy working families made up 1/3 of Australian households and spent more than $2 billion on beef every year. A major Western Australian grain storage and handling business, long considered a prime target for overseas buyers, has fallen into the hands of receivers, the Countryman reports. Tama Grains owner Kim Packer said the business had been under pressure from banks for some time, but stressed that all growers had been paid. Despite the appointment of receivers this month, Mr Packer said he remains in talk with overseas investors aimed at securing Tama's future. His preferred option was to bring in an equity partner to grow the family business founded in 1986. Well, that's it for Digital Farm TV Rural News this week. I'm Andy Walker. Look forward to your company again next week. Bye.